Hello and welcome to the one and only Rad Tea Party. If you wonder why I'm laughing, it's because I literally just ran to get here in time. But today is a very special episode of the Rad Tea Party because we have a co-host who is to your right, and that is Kate, aka the Disney Cicero. So, very special today because Kate is over in Disneyland in Anaheim, California, where we are here in Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida. So, yeah, who would have thought that I had to run to somewhere? So, we're going to be doing basically today is comparison, contrast of Disney World versus Disneyland. And we're going to do Fantasyland. We'll do Adventureland, Frontierland, as well as our Liberty Square to Kate's New Orleans Square. Without further ado, Kate, you want to do a quick intro of yourself, tell your socials while I flip this around?
Yes, hold on. I gotta flip it. Give me 1 second. Get a nice view of Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Kate, aka Disney Cicerone. I'm on TikTok mostly, Instagram, YouTube, and I also have DisneyCicerone.com is my blog if you wanted to read. But I usually do obscure Disney history, Disney facts that maybe hardly anybody's ever heard about. Not the same old things that you've heard a million times about Disney, but things that they're like the true Disney nerds want to know about. That's what I talk about. That's what I specialize in. And also a lot of Disney encouragement and inspiration. So that's what I do. And I get to hang out both in Disneyland and Disney World because I'm an annual pass holder to Disney World. And I'm a Magic Key holder here at Disneyland. So today I'm in Disneyland for a couple more days. And I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So, Kate, if you're not following her on TikTok, she crushes. She's super, super talented. She's also a writer. And she's Disneyland. Well,
Hey, you can always feel free to just hold it down for him if he's having the connection issue.
Okay.
Normally this is when they see Uncle Mark and he'll pop in and be like, "Hey guys, we got cacti going on," and I'll like make some stupid statement or some silly joke. Feel free to fill that today. Hi everybody. Okay. I'm gonna go hide again backstage. Bye.
Yeah, Kirk, you were breaking up a little bit, but it's interesting, so these teacups here are different than the ones in Magic Kingdom. Mainly, though, you see the main difference is the roof. There's no roof to this, but Magic Kingdom used to have not have a roof, just like Disneyland when it first opened, but they quickly realized that it rains a lot more in Florida than it does in Disneyland. So they added the roof and about a year in to so that they could operate the ride more frequently because they can't operate it when it's raining. So that's why it has a roof, which is a little less aesthetically pleasing. There's also white lights in Disney World, but here ours are colored when they turn on at night. They're not on, obviously, right now because the sun's out, but it's kind of a really beautiful vibe here under the vines. And then you can get the monorail behind you and the Storybook Land canal boat. Trying to give you a nice. We have Alice in Wonderland also right next door.
So this is where Disney. I was thinking about this, Kate. It would be a really good book if it was like Disney World's better. No, Disneyland's better, and it's like your version versus my version and our reasoning. People would like that.
We need to write. Yes, let's write that. Let's do it. I'm all for it.
So. We do have lanterns. We also have more of that like Mary Blair kind of patterning. But the only thing we get outside of this is Cheshire Cat Cafe, which you don't have a eatery that's themed for Disneyland, correct, for Alice or no?
No, we have kind of like a Fantasyland generic treat cart and things. But we do have, if you look across the way over there, we've got the house, I think for the White Rabbit, right? And then there's the Mad Hatter shop behind it. We have a shop that sells ears. I can see if I can go over there.
So in the meantime, I'll show you what we sell over here at the Cheshire Cat Cafe. It is the infamous Cheshire Cat Tail, which is basically a sweet pastry with chocolate. It's delicious. It's got some, it kind of reminds me of like a croissant. And then they do slushies as well. And then for the 50th, we have a Cheshire Cat Fab 50, as well as a Mad Hatter, which I'll go over in a second because we are spilling that tea. Lem dropped the breaking news. Kate, I don't know if you heard it, but the breaking news is socially distanced character meets are gone. I think we're going to start hugging characters. It was just announced by Disney Parks 1 hour ago. So we actually know something like on time for once. Normally it's like, oh, okay. And we never really kind of, the race for first is always very challenging. This part right here makes me very happy because they always play Alice music. And I will die on this hill. Winnie the Pooh should go away, and this should be Alice in Wonderland that you have.
Yeah, well, they have these new Alice in Wonderland ears. This is the Mad Hatter shop here. And so our Alice actually is layered over Mr. Toad. Shares the same show building with Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and also Peter Pan. It's all one giant building. So Alice goes up to the second floor. You can kind of see the caterpillars there. There's a lot of people in line for this, guys. But it goes up to the second floor, and then it's layered over Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And so this kind of a fun fact about this tree. This sounds really bizarre, but they planted it because men were embarrassed to ride on Alice way back in the day because they thought it was too feminine. So they planted a tree to like hide them while they were on the ride. Like, how weird is that? So that's why that tree's there.
All I'm going to say is real men wear and ride Alice-themed attractions. Not only dark rides, but I am all about the teacups because it's the only thing I have that is Alice-themed here. Although, fun fact, you probably know this, the 10-6, that fraction on the Mad Hatter's hats is an actual price tag. So the Mad Hatter was a hatter, and he was mad like a hatter because they used to cure the brims of hats using mercury, which eventually would make them go mad. So that was, I believe, it's either 10 shillings and 6 pence or 10 pence, 6 shillings. I forget which one is more in the denomination. And we also have there's a hat box all the way in Storybook Circus in the back by the train station that has a hat box with the 10/6 fraction on it. Back to you with the awesome dark ride that should exist here, but instead I'm staring at Winnie the...
Yeah, so this one didn't used to have the ending that it has now. You can see way back there, and there's a tunnel that has the ending that is at the end of this vine. When you go all the way down, there's this ending, and that is because Tony Baxter thought as a kid, why does this ride just end at the end of going down this big vine? It feels like there should be another part to it. And so when he became an Imagineer, he added that to it because that was kind of what he always thought should be. Like, how cool is that? Like, thinking there should be something about this ride and then making it happen as an Imagineer is just amazing. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's really congested here, friends.
Well, that's one of the things about, well, let's just talk about that in general, right? Disneyland is more of a nighttime because it's more locals. That's why also you get in Disneyland more festival changes and food changes over in DCA than you do in Epcot because it's more of a destination, where California and Disneyland is more of a locals park than Walt Disney World is.
Yes, so usually people get off work and they come over to Disneyland, and so it's very different. It's not a resort destination per se, but lots and lots of people come here on vacation, myself included. So it's become more of a resort location. I think they're trying to make it more that way by building some more resort properties, including more DV sales. This ride looks like it's broken right now. Everybody step on it. But yeah, so at night is when it comes alive, which I think is also why they have extended park hours. Ours is open until midnight, like every single night right now during this busy time.
I'm actually very, very jealous. Oh, Lauren in Wonderland, you came to the right place. You're in good company here. So because I'm not as familiar with Disneyland, where are we going to next, Kate?
My goodness. Well, I forgot to mention that yellow mushroom that was back there is the original ticket booth for Alice in Wonderland. And there's another one that's over here. I think Kirk, where we're gonna go. See, mine is like my big hub with the carousel. It's probably the next place, but I have Dumbo over there, and I know you don't because your Dumbo's elsewhere. But you do have a carousel.
I can take you to Dumbo or the carousel. You tell me, and that's where I'll go.
Let's do Dumbo next.
All right, that's easy. Super close.
Okay, so this Storybook Land canal boats ride, this lighthouse was also one of the original ticket booths here. So you can see that one and the mushroom. But back when they used to have like a book of tickets too, when you'd pay admission to get into the park and then you'd pay per ride, you'd pay for a book of tickets and they would take the tickets there. And then we have Storybook Land canal boats, which is, Walt was a huge fan of miniatures, and this ride features miniatures. He actually made them himself. And his original thing he was going to do with Disneyland was called Disneylandia. It was going to be on a train that would stop at different places in the U.S. and people would pay an admission fee and walk through the train and see all these little like scenarios made out in miniature. So this is kind of an ode to that. Although Walt kind of thought this was a placeholder ride, he never intended it to stay long term. He said, we'll put something else there later. And when it first opened, it was called the Mud Bank Ride, is what the cast members called it, because it literally had nothing but like a boat ride through muddy banks because like nothing is ready. So obviously it's a lot more pleasant now. I can't see any miniatures from where I'm standing now because you have to go through Monstro's mouth and then into Storybook Land. But it's one of my favorite like original attractions.
I love that.
Yes.
These canal boats are so cool. I love, is it Maestro, right?
Monstro.
Monstro,
And
sorry,
his
from
eye
Pinocchio.
His eye will open and close every once in a while. If you catch it just right. He might not do it today. And he used to squirt water out the top too, which I haven't seen him do in a bit, but I think he still does it. I haven't been on the Storybook Land canal boats today. I haven't done a lot of rides today. I've mostly been walking around and talking Disney history with people, which has been fun. That's like my favorite thing.
Dude, we were on TikTok basically for the last like hour and a half, and I was having a really hard time focusing because all I wanted to do was look at Kate's screen as we were doing side by side, just like we're doing right now. So let me get in front of Dumbo.
It was wild. I'm gonna get closer.
So you guys only have one, where we originally had only one until we got the reimagined new Fantasyland, as they call it. Do you have a Timothy? Oh, up at the top.
Yep.
So we only have a Timothy here on the sign. There is no Timothy on the individual Dumbo rides.
And yours rotate opposite each other, right? One rotates one way and the other rotates the other.
Yes. So they kind of like, this one goes that way, this one goes this way. So they kind of are in sync.
They used to give out little wooden feathers to people who were waiting to get on the Dumbos here, so that's how you knew it was like you had a Dumbo if you were holding a feather. That's how the cast members knew who was going to go next. They don't have them anymore. I haven't seen them in quite a while. I think they even were gone before COVID, but I'm not sure. But
I'm sure people smuggled them off, and that was a reason for them disappearing. You know how people are.
Well, they do have like little mosaic circles when they redid this area, which they did a couple of years ago. They made little, you can probably see them over here. They made like little mosaic numbers on the ground that they had people stand on instead. They're in the shadows there, but that's what they have instead.
So we have that on our Dumbo clone over in Animal Kingdom, the Triceratops spin. We don't have numbered areas here. The one thing, though, I just noticed is we do have the murals on the bottom of ours from various scenes of Dumbo, including when Dumbo is seeing pink elephants, which I am shocked that still exists. I would have thought that would have gotten. That's right here, right there.
Oh yeah, we don't have those.
Yep.
Our fountains are off too, which is a little sad.
See, Disney World's better. Write it in the book.
No!
Write it in the book. It's true.
I will never ever admit to that. No.
I have a saying for Dumbo at night. It's the poor man's astro orbiter. If you want to watch the fireworks, Dumbo is a great spot to watch the fireworks. I think Justin's done that. A couple of other people have. It's very fun because you get to see Space Mountain. The fireworks actually go off over here. So here's a hack. Right over here, you got a popcorn cart and an ice cream stand. You can watch right over by this bench area. Fireworks go off here. And then if you don't want to wait for Seven Doors Mine Train, walk around after about 10 minutes of fireworks, like right after Tiana and Chernabog is on, and go, it'll say 90 minutes. You can walk right on to Seven Dwarfs, less than 10-minute wait. No individual lightning lane needed.
You know, I think Disneyland is I agree with Rebecca, who said that it's way easier to do with littles at Disneyland. 100%. I've taken my kids as littles to both, and it is way easier at Disneyland. It's smaller, it's more compact, it's easier to get on a lot of the rides. It's just it's not a marathon like it is in Disney World, and it's easy to park hop. It's literally just walking across the street to the other park. It's less demanding.
Before I really truly understood Walt Disney World, I always thought that Disneyland had a much more enjoyable, if you're attraction-based experience, because it was like the greatest hits, all crammed in a very condensed. So like as many e-tickets, if you don't know what an e-ticket was, when the parks first opened, they had different lettered tickets and it would denote the cost. And an e-ticket was the most expensive of the tickets. And as a result, e-tickets were the best of all of the, oh wow, the splash pad is open. If you're gonna bring kids here, great time, come to the splash pad and you can change over at this restroom over here. We have 71 for 1971 Magic Kingdom, 89 for MGM Studios, 82 for Epcot, and 96 is over there for Animal Kingdom. And then I'm going to show you the hat box I found the other day with the Mad Hatter on it, because
these
are things that I care about.
I'm going to go to Casey Jr. because if you're talking about things to do with littles, the Casey Jr. train is it. It is what the littles want to do. And it is the Casey Jr. train, which is loading here.
You could probably speak to this better than I can. Carolwood Park, the significance.
Carolwood Park. Oh, I know that name.
I feel like it was one of the trains that Walt was big on, but I could be wrong. But here you go. Here's our little Mad Hatter. There's the hat, and it says 10 shillings and 6 pence LTD. Hats for all occasions, birthdays, unbirthdays, and all days in between. How cool is that? Random hat box for the Mad Hatter over here.
Do you have your, are you near Casey Jr.? Can you show them the train cars? Because I've got the actual Casey Jr. train.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get to the front so that, yep.
Our Casey Jr. train, the cars, a lot of the cars and the woodwork from it came from our carousel, which is original 1922 carousel. That, so they saved the woodwork from the carousel and they put it on the Casey Jr. train. So they repurposed it. And then the Casey Jr. train winds around the same miniatures as the Storybook Circus.
Which is an adorable attraction.
It is. And you'll see a lot of patchwork quilt landscaping. And that was because when they were originally making the concept for the area, they were going to have a giant that was peeking over a blanket, like a blanket quilt. But they decided that the giant looked really, really strange with all the miniatures. So they got rid of the giant, but they liked the landscaping idea. So they kept the blanket landscaping, but they got rid of the giant concept. But you can still see it. It's really hard to see from here. You have to be on the ride to see it. Right?
Kate, I don't know if last time you were here this was running. I don't think it was because it was a little colder. But do you see the steam coming off the top?
Yeah, look, there's yours and there's mine.
Yeah. Oh, no. We were right there, right next to each other.
Oh,
and then we have, you got to watch out. This is one of the wettest areas. So if you're worried about the camels spitting on you, you get soaked over here.
Okay, here's where it's going. My kids always make me sit in the wild animal cars, like the ones that look like jail.
Well, that makes sense.
That's where there was one. Yeah.
It's where you belong. Imprisoned. Look, it's the maxi dress.
That's right. I wore that one yesterday.
Okay, Gary had a question. There is a Universal Studios in Hollywood. Yes. Different attractions than the one over here in Universal Orlando, and there's different IP. So it just depends on the specific IP. There's our Tron building, Blend in Blue, which actually I think does pretty nicely blending in minus this section, but I can't wait until Tron opens up. What else can I show you in here, or where are we going to next?
I'm trying to think of what is similar. I'm back in, like, obviously I'm near the carousel. I'm
Oh,
near
wow. Is that the Haunted Mansion
Pinocchio's
over there?
house.
No, that's not the Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
What is that on the
Mansion's,
left?
Like, way over there.
Yeah.
On the left?
Yeah,
Oh,
what's
that's
that building?
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, all right.
I
Chalk it up, Lem. Disneyland 1. Never
Mr.
forget.
Toad's Wild Ride.
J. Thaddeus. And that was reimagined because that was an opening day attraction, right? Correct? I believe it was.
I think so.
And
Wait,
originally it
let
got.
me think about that.
I think it was because they had to scale back Toad Hall. Toad Hall was supposed to be much more opulent than it is, or it is now because they refurbed it. But originally, when it came out, it was basically like a very plain facade.
Do you want to go on it real quick? There's not a long
Don't do
line.
that. I'm gonna throw up. Don't do that to me.
Just kidding.
You can.
I
If
can't
there's
do
no
it. I
line,
can't.
you can.
There's
no line.
They're having a technical difficulty. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll chill here because if you want to go to where your carousel is and your Pinocchio village house, because we've got Pinocchio's the ride, so we can show them that.
Oh, all right. Disneyland 1. Give another point, Lem. This is where I lose all the points because of all the Fantasyland dark rides that I love. Lem, you got to change it. Disney World 1, Disneyland 2.
And then we have. I love
right.
this car. I always sit there. It's like a great photo op with my kids.
Jump in there and flip it around. Come on. We want to see you in the car. Get in the car. Chat.
Okay, hold
do
on.
You want to see her in there?
Away. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's so funny. Okay, work on it. I don't know if I can. Let's see. I have to figure out my...
Just flip it around. Like, just rotate your hand and do it that way rather than trying to flip the camera around, because there's like some tech stuff that you don't know how to do yet, and it's a little annoying to learn. Oh, there you go. She did it.
I figured it out. We can go. Can we drive?
I'm very jealous. We only have a J. Thaddeus in the graveyard of the Haunted Mansion. That's all we have as a nod to our deleted ride, which was replaced by Winnie the Pooh, which you guys have Winnie the Pooh, but you deleted your Country Bears, which was a crime.
Yes,
that is a crime. So Disney World 2, Disneyland 2.
Well, and if you are in California Adventure during Halloween time, they put in front of Flo's V8 Cafe, they put a spider car. And that is actually one of these Mr. Toad Wild Rides cars that they've just added like legs to. It made look like a spider.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I love it how it says Semper Absurda. I wish this wasn't broken. I would hop on and let you all see it.
Well, the ride does go wild. You know how that is.
I know.
You know what?
I want to do Alice, but the line is crazy for that.
As I'm walking to the carousel. All right, ready? Disney World 3, Disneyland 2. I'll just say Seven Dwarfs. Come on.
Well, we have Snow White's Enchanted Wish.
Fine, 3-3.
You guys don't have it anymore.
We had it.
It's not even terrifying anymore because
I know, but time out. You repurposed our Dopey from Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So like a lot of your reimagined projection dwarves came from Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
I know, so that means that we have what you have, so that should be a point for us, right?
No, it's equal.
See if we can see. I gotta get where the sun's not in my eyes.
I will show. Where are you going right now? Pinocchio?
I can go Pinocchio. It's right next
All
door.
right, go to Pinocchio just because I'm right by Village House.
Okay.
So we don't have a ride, and I won't be able to get inside without a mobile order, but I can kind of peek in. And it's kind of strange because the entrance to this restaurant is nowhere near where the sign is. Like you can't enter through here, but it's got this gorgeous sign with Pinocchio holding a cup of coffee and an apple. I don't know why coffee and apple, you know? That's really what a teacher needs, an apple and a cup of coffee.
Well, and you guys have all of the different weather vanes on top that are for the different villages and the different families in the village. And then we have the weather vanes for the ride itself. So we have a whale and some fish.
Oh, that's cool.
And we have a
Monstro weather vane. That's
why
really
do we have
good.
A stork? Is this stork? I'm not sure why we have a stork with a baby. Is that supposed to be Dumbo? But it's not over Dumbo?
So for some reason, we have like a dragon-looking weather vane I'm noticing for the first time. I can't zoom in. And then, Kate, I feel like you have to share this because it's such a good fun fact. Can you share the bells?
Oh, yeah. So
hang on. I think, doesn't that look like, who's that up there? That almost looks like, oh, sorry. You can't see it. It's too dark. But looks like almost like Peter sitting, but like maybe he's ready to jump. Anyway, bells.
All I know is the ones that are, the weather vanes are supposed to represent each of the families. So they're like family crest or whatever. But the bells are, they're not actually ringing. It's a recorded track because John Hench found these bells that were like the perfect tone to match the ones that were in the movie, Pinocchio movie. And he shipped them to Disney World, and there was lost in communication. This is why communication is really important. That he did not tell the workers to not clean them or do anything to them because it would affect the tone. Instead, they pounded out all the dents and polished all the rust off of it, which made it so the tone no longer matched the one in the movie. So they could not use the bells as actual bells. Instead, they had to use a recording. So when
Sound
you hear the
effects.
bells go off, so when you hear the bells go off, they're not actually going off and they're not actually ringing for that reason. Communication, very important.
Wow, I see a CM on top of Princess Hall, which is where we used to have Snow White's Scary Adventures, which I get why they did Fairy Tale Hall. That was basically when Elsa and Anna didn't have a spot in Norway, and it was the most popular, and everybody wanted to meet and greet.
So where you're at right now,
where
you're at right now is where we have Peter Pan's flight. So that's Peter Pan over there. But we have like that, Bavarian village feel to our Fantasyland where you guys still have all the tents, medieval tents.
So I'm going over to Friar's Nook just to show the only other nod that we have to Mr. Toad's is food. So Friar from Robin Hood, here's the menu. They got rid of the buffalo tots. Now it's just creamy bacon macaroni tots. But then you have the Wild Toad brat burger with lettuce, tomato, pickle, American cheese served with tater tots. And the brat, it's like the burger patty is like a bratwurst. It's really good. Then they got a plant-based bratwurst with tater bites, tater tots, that's their way of saying it. A loaded bacon, macaroni and cheese hot dog, baker. Mr. Toad's dome cake, peanut cake, chocolate, peanut butter mousse, salty caramel center, and then the wild ride, which is a frozen wild sour cherry, blue raspberry, and sour apple topped with whipped cream and a black licorice wheel, which I've had. The dome cake, it's okay. The burger's good, but the bun falls apart. I actually like the sausage and gravy tater bites. They also have something similar for Woody's Lunchbox. Very good breakfast, as well as this like everything multi-grain croissant. Cinnamon, sugar, donut holes. Skip them. They're super dry. I'm by the carousel. Are you by your carousel? Where are you?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. You want to do a carousel? Yes. Also, I hear the bells going off. Bells are going off. It must be 8 o'clock.
Or not going off, as they will be. So this is the... Oh, yeah, you can hear them.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get closer. We still have about 6 more chimes. Remember this? It sounds like they're ringing. Like there's a resonance, like a tinny resonance.
Well, I think they recorded ones that sounded like that, but they shouldn't be moving because
they are not moving, but it has that like metallic twang, and it almost feels like a reverberation. I don't know how they do it. How do you do it, Disney? All right.
Disney magic.
Disney magic. Carousel.
Yeah,
which Kate and I are experts on carousels, by the way. Just letting you know.
We have gotten there, I think, with our
We've spent a lot of time in front of this carousel, and I'm curious to see what you think about yours. I'm going to get into a better position where we can see this.
Yeah, I'm going to get closer to mine, I think. I'm going to go where the sword is, for the sword and the stone.
Yeah, I can't because our fireworks are set for 9 o'clock, and they have this already blocked off. They're also going to start wetting down this area, and if you didn't know, the carousel closes at 8:30 and doesn't open up until 9:30. So it closes for an hour here while the fireworks are going off, hence why we can't get back here. Good place to watch fireworks. You get a little bit over here, but really all the fireworks are going to be behind us. So, but here we are.
Okay, so ours is the King Arthur carousel. And it was a 1922 carousel that they refurbished, but not all the horses are from the same carousel. Some of them were collected from other horses around the country. That's why some of their faces are really different. And you can tell if your horse is an original wooden horse if you knock on it, and if it sounds hollow, it's a fiberglass reproduction. If it sounds solid, then it's an original 1922 carousel horse. You want to tell about yours?
Same thing for ours in terms of fiberglass versus real wood, but ours is called the Liberty Carousel. It was manufactured by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company, and then it was moved over to the Midwest and then brought back, resurfaced in Philadelphia, and then moved to North Jersey into a park before it moved here into the carousel location, which was actually wrong, Kate, right? Can you clarify why our carousel was wrong?
Why our carousel was what?
Yeah, where they the location was off by a couple feet.
Oh yeah. So when they installed the carousel, it was off by like 8 feet, and so it was not centered with the castle where you'd walk through the castle. So
right, so
Roy
it was like closer one way or whatever, and it was off.
Yeah. So Roy walked through and he's like, "No, this is wrong," and so they made him reinstall the carousel 8 feet in the other direction, and this carousel here, you know how I said all the horses have names? It's true here at Disneyland. Every single one of these horses has a number and a name. But yours, only 2 of them have names, right?
Only 2, correct. And we spent a lot of time trying to identify the 2. So we had mentioned that this is the Liberty Carousel. You'll notice that there is red on the top, blue, white, and then American Eagle. So that's why this is the Liberty Carousel. We just saw the Cinderella Carousel go by. And what's the other one? I forget what the name is, but it's like a knight, basically.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but
the Cinderella one is in 3, 2, 1 right there with this little blonde stream at the back end. Hey, Tanika. But the other one has those purple flowers. Do you remember we looked for at least 20 minutes to find this thing?
I know, that was a long time. But so here we have Jingles the horse, which was Walt's favorite horse. It has jingle bells on it. That's how you can tell which one it is. It's also dedicated to Julie Andrews. So it has a 50 on the saddle part. It's for the Disneyland's 50th anniversary. They repainted it, but they dedicated it to Julie Andrews, and it is the lead horse of our carousel. So when it spins around again, I'll show it to you guys. I might just walk there.
Was that Jingles right in front of us or no? You're walking to Jingles.
No, I'm going to go walk. I'm going to go find him. Try not to get in the way of all these lovely people.
Now, fun fact, while she's walking, you notice that all of our horses are painted white. And that was purposely done because they learned from Disneyland. And when they did a refurb on the carousel, they painted all of their horses white because kids would run to the white horses on Disneyland because heroes rode white horses. Villains rode black horses or brown horses. So kids were the ones who pushed for that, which is kind of fun.
Here is Jingles, you can see with the bells on. I don't want to get the kiddo in there for too long, but you can see.
That's Jingles?
Jingles the horse. That's Jingles.
Oh yeah, wow, there's a lot of metallic on there.
Jingles would jingle. If Jingles
is jingling. All right. What else do we have in Fantasyland? What did we miss?
I have Peter Pan, Snow White you don't have.
So why don't you show Snow White as I walk to Peter?
Okay.
Is that reasonable?
Yes, it's like literally right here.
And can you show the evil queen if possible? Does that always happen or no?
The sun, yes, it happens. So this ride was so terrifying when it opened that they actually got complaint letters from parents saying, "Why didn't you warn us? Our children were so scared."
Well, what was the original name then? Was it called like Snow White's Adventures and then it got changed to Snow White's Scary Adventures?
Yes, and so they changed. I'm pretty sure they changed the name, but they changed it to Snow White's Scary Adventures, and they added a place in the queue that looked like a scary dungeon that was supposed to like be pre-scare kids, so to speak, so they would warn parents that this was a scary ride. But when Walt heard about the complaints, he was like, "Well, kids got to learn about being scared sometimes anyway. Might as well be here." Like I'm paraphrasing, but that was his general attitude.
He was just like, "Yo, deal with it."
He's like, "Suck it up."
You know what I love is I just absolutely love how much Walt really cared about presentation and storyline. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and so this ride was known for its jump scares. So like things popping out at you, specifically the evil queen would pop out at you. And it was genuinely terrifying. I rode it when I was like 20 something and I was scared riding it by myself. I was like, never again. And they had like a whole forest of creepy trees leaning towards you. And then at the end, they ran out of space to finish the last scene. Like, I don't know who made that, like who was in charge of that, but they didn't add in the last scene with the happily ever after. So what happened was the evil queen was rolling a giant boulder onto the dwarves. And then the next scene was, and they lived happily ever after.
Well, they did in the afterlife of dwarves.
It was a little terrifying because there's just like a wall that said like, and they lived happily ever after, and it was very nonsensical. It was actually very un-Disney-like to have it end that way.
Now,
so
I gotta
that
share,
was really weird, but the ride itself was cool.
I have to share a random fact about kids that has nothing to do with Magic Kingdom and Fantasyland, but where there needed to be clarification for kids to understand an attraction. Also, TikTok Croc, shout out on the weather vane.
Oh, I have one too.
You have a TikTok Croc?
Look.
Oh, wow.
I do, right there.
Very cool.
I have a boat up there too, a ship. Do you have a ship?
We do have a Jolly Roger. I'll go over there. While I'm walking into position, on Toy Story Mania, they had to add the line on Sarge's like plate breaking. They had to have Sarge say, "Break those plates," because kids didn't want to break plates. They thought they would get in trouble. So they added that line to the soundbite so kids would know it's totally cool to break the plates. There's our Jolly Roger.
I didn't know that. That's neat.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have the same weather vanes.
Same weather vanes.
I can't even get anywhere close to our ride. Like this line is massive. It goes all the way back to the castle. Let's see if I can show you. Here, go this way. Let's see. It like I would never get in this line personally, but there's people who really want to like this is. If you see the line like this for Peter Pan, just wait, don't ride it because this is way too low.
We have a hidden Mickey here on our Peter Pan clouds, and it's really not crowded at all. It's saying 70 minutes, but it's right up here. You got ear, body. It's not complete, but it's right there. You can always gauge how crowded things are based on how many people are right here.
Yeah. Same here. If they add the extra rope for ours, it means it's really bad.
Oh, can you do your It's a Small World?
Yeah, I can do Small World.
Are you close or not close?
I'm not terribly close, but I can walk there. I mean, everything's close here.
All right, I'll do some. This is let me do filler.
Okay.
So our It's a Small World just got refurbed on the outside. So all of this was repainted and made it actually project out a little bit. And you'll notice that we have a roof. So when Kate gets to hers is open. So the boats would actually load in the elements. Now you got to remember, same exact problems with the Rad Tea Party, with the teacups not being closed in on theirs because of weather. We have so much rain that the ride would close all the time. Now, granted, we have these giant shields still up, which hopefully will go away soon. But you can see inside our Small World, which is what they have, but much nicer. Plus, they do projection shows. So I'm going to give you a 0.1 to. I'll concede a point there for Disneyland.
Got a nice little view of Casey Jr. here. I'm almost there. Almost. It's kind of like the way this is laid out. It's nowhere near the rest of it.
Well, we got about 20 minutes, Kate, and we still got to fit in Adventureland, Liberty Square, and Frontierland. It's totally doable because you and I are like geeks for Fantasyland.
Okay. Well, let me at least show them it's a small world because they gotta see that, and then we will go. You'll go. So you can see it up ahead here.
Now, Kate, fan of the song, not a fan of the song, and chat. Do you like It's a Small World or do you not like it because of the music? I know it's an earworm, but
I love it in its original form. It was originally written as a ballad, a slower song, and I think it's really beautiful when it's played that way. I love when I heard, I think it's Richard Sherman that wrote, he played it for something I was watching, and I was like, oh, I would listen to that all day.
I don't think I've heard that arrangement.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you because it's worth hearing. But this is our small world. It's a little bigger, not quite such a small world.
It is so much infinitely better than ours.
And the train moves through it too in the back. So the train will go through the back part of it. Oh, and the clock parade's gonna happen. We gotta watch the doll parade.
Ours is always late. Ours is always late or early. It's never on time. Our clock.
Well, it's about to happen. You guys don't have all the dolls that come out. The last doll is...
No, we do. Well, we don't have all of them, but we do have toy soldiers in the center, drummers on the right.
Oh, you don't have the ones that come out of the door at the bottom, though, and go around. That's what I mean.
You guys have those. We have some of them, not all of them.
You have all these dolls that come out?
Not the ones on the bottom.
Disneyland. We got a Disneyland point here. We also have topiaries and everything. So the last one is supposed to represent Greenwich, England because of Greenwich Mean Time. So the last doll, I think, in the doll parade.
Well, you guys get a Christmas overlay plus in all the countries you have the individual IP, which is huge because you can actually see what country the characters are from, which I don't know. We were supposed to get that for the 50th. Clearly that never happened. I still think it's in the cards. Just it might take them 5 to 10 years.
So we got all the dolls. We got all the dolls.
And plus you guys have the projection shows that you do at nighttime on Small World, which are awesome.
Small World it's like our castle. People say like, oh, you don't have the castle. I'm like, well, we have Small World. It's like, it's bigger than the castle in a lot of ways. It is.
I mean, if you look at that facade versus ours, and now granted, we have some of it in here, but it's not as ornate as yours. Nowhere near.
Can I try to get closer? I don't know if I can zoom in on this.
You can't on StreamYard. It's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I can't. I would get closer if I could, but I'm like, I'd have to go in the queue to do it. At least we get a nice wide angle of it. Ding. It says 5:15. I love this at twilight. It's my favorite time to ride this because if you do it in the summer, it's really hot to be out in the sun in the boats. But at twilight, it's like a beautiful time of night. The colors are just gorgeous when they light it up here. And seeing the topiaries is special. And then another difference here is that this Small World runs in a trough, whereas the water goes all the way to the sets in Disney World. And the reason for that is when they said, Raleigh Crump suggested to Wall, he said, hey, it would look more aesthetically pleasing if we had the water go all the way to the sets. And he said, no, we paid so much money for this trough, we're going to use it. So when they made the duplicate of the ride in Disney World, they didn't already have the trough, so they made the water go all the way to the sets. Okay, where am I going now?
I'm walking to Liberty Square or Frontierland. Would you like to see Frontierland or Liberty Square? Do you have a Haunted Mansion relatively close, or is that all the way on the other side?
Haunted Mansion is on the other side of the park.
Okay. What about what's closer, Frontierland or Adventureland for you? Because we're running up against time, so I think we do one more area, and we'll have to save this for another time.
Yeah. I think Frontierland probably is closer because there's a place that connects to that.
Okay. So you want me to go to Frontierland?
Yeah. And also, our
Okey-dokies.
Adventureland is really small. There's not much to it, and a lot of it has scaffolding right now. It's not very pretty. I'm gonna have to take the back way.
I'm gonna buffer with a little bit of Haunted Mansion because why not? I love this ride so much. This is such a great combination of Mark Davis, Claude Coates, Raleigh Crump, Walt Disney. Claude and Raleigh thought it should have been scary, and Mark Davis thought it should have been fun. That's why we get scary in the beginning and fun in the back. I just love this. Ours is also off of the Hudson River Valley Mansion. So ours is a northeastern New York style mansion, where your mansion is more of like a southern. I believe there was a home in Baltimore, and there was another home that yours was modeled after.
It's a mansion that's in Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't know if that one still is it. It's not Vanderbilt. I feel like it's a.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember though.
I can't remember if the Baltimore one is still there, and then there's another one that people say there's slight inspiration. But I know the Hudson River Valley Mansion still exists, and they do murder mystery shows there. How fun would that be to go to a murder mystery inside of the real Haunted Mansion?
That would be amazing. And yours, I believe that I was just reading about that, how yours has a sea wall to it. Like they refer to it as a sea. So it's supposed to be like the Haunted Mansion by the sea, apparently.
Well,
that's the vibe.
We do have Captain Culpepper.
Yeah, because that was the original storyline. You're at Captain Culpepper now, but the original storyline was, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
It was it was a very dark, like visceral name, like Captain Murder. It's not that, Captain, but it was.
I can't remember. I'm trying to blank.
You just made a video too the other day, but yeah,
I
you basically were
did.
explaining how. And Constance Hatchaway wasn't Constance; she was just a bride prior to that.
She was originally Abigail Pate Cleaver was the original name that I think it was Exitensio had for her. And then she just kind of became the beating heart bride when she was in the attic. So they kind of abandoned that story. And then eventually she became Constance. It's a pretty complicated history.
Well, there's too many Imagineers. There's too much time. And the project got bounced around by too many people. So there's like all of these conflicting messages. That's what I think makes it so unique.
So there's, I won't go all the way over there because we're short on time, but there is a Conestoga wagon that is a red one. You can kind of see behind these people. And it has the initials WED on it for its Wilderness Explorer and Delivery is what they say on it. That's one of the original Conestoga wagons from the Conestoga wagons that used to be in Disneyland, Conestoga wagon rides. Now it's just like sitting abandoned.
Walter Elias
but
Disney.
It was exactly, which was he couldn't name two companies after himself, so that's why he called it WED. Oh, so I'm on the back side of Big Thunder Mountain right now.
All right,
there's like
I will
TNT
get over to Big
there.
Thunder.
I'm
I cross up to Splash first.
Because to my right is Batu. There's two entrances to it over here.
And here I thought going from Toy Story Land into Batu was awkward.
We have three entrances to Batu, which is so
really
disorienting when you're used to having two. Yeah, it's really
where's
strange.
The third one? Like in the center somewhere?
Yeah, this is the center entrance.
So where do you enter into, like by Ronto Roasters? Because you guys are mirrored, right? Like if you took ours and reflexively turned it, everything is backwards.
It feels that way. I'm trying to look. I'm gonna just peek in there. I won't go all the way in.
Oh look, Country Bear Jamboree. it seems like Walt Disney World really loves nostalgia and history and doesn't just desecrate Grizzly Hall like the chapel it is for Winnie the Pooh. 1 point.
Ouch, man, that was harsh.
Well, I had to.
It looks like it's like Droid Depot, maybe. If you look,
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
droids right there. That's
Well,
where it goes into.
I mean, the way
I'm gonna keep
ours
moving though.
goes, Droid Depot is the Toy Story Mania entrance. It's super interesting. I have to look at some videos of Disneyland and how that looks. Super curious now.
Okay, so we get a point because we have the original entrance to the mine train through Nature's Wonderland. It's still, well, not entrance, but the tunnel, one of the tunnels for it. We still have it here, and the tracks are on the other side of this hill.
And the town,
see-
correct? Isn't it like Crystal
The town,
something?
Rainbow Ridge.
Rainbow
Close
Ridge.
enough. But there's the tunnels here. And then up here is another one that's closed off. And we have Rainbow Ridge was the town that was in it. And now that is where you come back around when you're getting near the exit at the end of your ride. You go through Rainbow Ridge, which was where Walt and Lily and Disney loved to stroll in the evenings. It was one of Lily and Disney's favorite places at Disneyland. Here, I can show you. This is the mine train through Nature's Wonderland. Treks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I wish that was still there. Which, by the way, that came from inspiration from Knott's Berry Farms because they had the Calico mine car train.
Yeah, my brother is there today, and he was going to go check that out. So I'm interested to see what he comes up with.
It's a really cool little tiny attraction. I think that's the best log flume I've ever been on outside of, like, that's more of a traditional log flume where Splash Mountain is very uniquely different. But the Knott's Berry log flume, hands down, best traditional log flume in the country. Hands down.
I have not been there since I was little, so I don't remember it that well.
Oh man, you're missing out. I mean, it's hard to.
It's not far from here.
You go to,
either.
yeah, I know, but it still is a pain in the neck, especially if you're, because there's no real like direct route from the airport. You you either have to rent a car or Uber crazy far. I think Mel and I took a bus.
Took a bus, yeah. I think we could probably lift it.
All right, I'm almost
Big
to.
Thunder is down. Everybody's waiting right now for it.
I'm almost to our geyser point, which gives me an overlook of what our Big Thunder Mesa looks like. Which I don't know if our Big Thunder Mesa matches yours. I almost feel like this is like if I look at the tree stump, that petrified gift to Lily that you showed on your live the other day, I think this is really like a mirror image of that. Because I think the shorter stubby end was to the left and the bigger pointy part was to the right. These are all technical geological terms, if you didn't know that.
The pointy end.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find where I can go. Okay, I'm just going to go. I'm not going to get in line. I'm just going to go over here where you guys can see Rainbow Ridge. Because it looks like it's broken down right now, so they're not really letting anybody in.
So we have a
See a
town,
little bit of Rainbow Ridge.
but our town is the town of Tumbleweed.
That's cool. I don't think I knew that.
So when they redid the queue here, Tony Baxter reimagined the backstory, and the town of Tumbleweed is being cursed with a drought for the Big Thunder Railroad Mining Company doing dynamite blasting and messing up the mines to try to strip some resources. The town of Tumbleweed is filled with all of the miners, so there was this horrible drought, not a lot of food, and this professor who was a charlatan named Cumulus Clouds, Isobar, creates a rain machine that they pay for, and the gods get angered by that, and they flood the town of Tumbleweed. So that's why Tumbleweed is completely wet. And Barnabas T. Bullion, there's a portrait of him, and it's Tony Baxter inside the queue, like right as soon as you enter inside, up at the top. It's actually also, when you're going down the ramps, you can see Tony Baxter as Barnabas T. Bullion. And also, I will die on this hill. They need to do a live action movie for Big Thunder. It's got a great backstory.
Yeah, and I think they need to make one with just the sea characters, Society of Explorers and Adventures. I think would be a brilliant movie.
Oh, that would be, they could do a whole series because there's so many intertwined characters throughout the theme parks of all the different countries, that would be really unique because they have
So
really good backstories for those characters.
behind our Big Thunder, up on a ridge, I saw yesterday there's like a suitcase and it has a luggage tag on it that says Barnabas T. Bullion. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out why it's there and is it like, how are we connected here? You know, so I'm still going to research that one because it's interesting that it's there. And there's other places that have luggage tags too. And I think they're all connected to sea.
I had a CM once tell me that Big Thunder and Pirates are interconnected storyline wise, based on if you go to the right side of our Pirates in the line, there's pirates who are in a cave and they're digging. And I have not been able to confirm or deny that.
Interesting. I'm going to walk down the our actual Frontierland. Do you have like a boardwalk for your Frontierland? I'm trying to remember.
We do.
Like
we
when
do.
I'm here,
So,
I can't remember what that looks like.
Yeah, so
you do.
I'm
That's
staring.
right,
this
is around the rivers of America.
Yeah, this is Toy Story. This is Tom Sawyer Island, and there's a boardwalk that wraps all the way around the river on ours.
Okay, I'm gonna get through this crowd, and then I'll show you what ours looks like. We have the Golden Horseshoe. We've had the Golden Horseshoe review for years and years and years, which is actually inspired by something that I'm going to make a TikTok about soon, but I'm keeping it under my hat for now because it's a pretty cool little find. It's a pretty neat little Disney history find.
Also, you guys don't have a hidden Tinkerbell. We do. At the end of our queue.
What?
We have a hidden Tinkerbell. So, hidden Mickeys are cool, but hidden Tinkerbells are cooler. I'll show you in a second. You have to get on the right side train track if you want to see this, or just go up the queue in the back. Pardon me. And she's right there. Hard to see, but right on this grass, you'll see. It's all this wind. But you'll see her head, her feet, and then her wings are over here. So imagine Tink is looking side profile that way.
Okay, well that's pretty neat, but I feel like our Frontierland's like way more Old West. Like we got cacti, we have
cacti right here, and I'm also looking at agave plants. Beat it. There's cacti all over this place, and we still have service. Amazing.
Okay, I know you have the shooting exposition.
We do, and ours is free.
I know ours costs money, but
we
have the store. We have the store that used to sell like Pendleton blankets, which is an Oregonian thing. It comes from Pendleton, Oregon, and they were some of like Walt's favorite blankets. So they were in Disneyland for a very, very long time, and there's still a lot of places where you can find Pendleton patterns all around the Disney parks because of their connection with Pendleton wool. I also like this.
Kate, are you heading to Critter Country by any chance?
I mean, I can. It's on the other side of the river. But I can walk that
never
way.
mind. No, because we're running up against it. I was going to just show Splash as kind of the last thing, but there's nothing else I can really compare to right now.
You have the Rivers of America near you. It's kind of dark, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's literally, if you just want to look at nothing, we have that.
It's like we have the river. I can show the petrified trees right there that we were talking about.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Which was, of course, Walt's anniversary gift to Lillian. I think it was their 32nd anniversary. He bought her a giant petrified tree.
Do you look at that?
Somehow they stayed married.
Well, what anniversary is petrified tree?
I don't know, 32nd apparently. But so this one, when they made Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, they echoed the top of this tree. So that is where they get kind of the design for the very top. I know that they used Bryce Canyon as an inspiration for Big Thunder, but they used the very top of this as their inspiration for the shape. And so it's a 7.5 feet in diameter, and it's 5 tons. So Lillian said it's a little bit too big for the mantle, so how about we put it in Disneyland? So it says that it's presented to Disneyland by Mrs. Walt Disney in 1957.
That's a very polite way of saying, get this trash out of our house.
Well, it sat with the place they bought it. Like apparently she was in the car and he popped out into like the Petrified Tree Museum or something and like bought it without her knowing. Like,
he's like, all right, we got to fit this. Can you ship this?
Yeah, they just held on to it until eventually they're like, hey, are you going to come get this? And then like,
oh, I bought
Lillian's
that thing?
like, no. Yeah, Lillian's like, we're not having that in our house.
That's so funny.
We do have our Mark Twain. Do you have a Lily Bell? So we have the Mark Twain.
We have the Liberty Bell.
Can you see it from where you're at?
But you guys have the Columbia. No, ours is off. It's off stage now. It's been moved to the backstage.
You can see our Splash Mountain across the way there. I'll kind of walk around towards it.
Oh, there you go. There's the stump.
And then there's, you can see they're working on Fantasmic. So there's a lot of scaffolding and all kinds of things in the water right now. Because this is where Fantasmic takes place. And then on the other side, we have walls, just like endless walls and scaffolding. They're working on the Tarzan treehouse and also refurbishing Pirates. And they took down the trees that were in the Pirates queue, which is like breaking everybody's heart. But I guess that they were diseased or dead or something, so they were a hazard. And you're going to go on Splash, isn't that right? I wonder how long our wait time is for Splash.
I am. I don't have a Haunted Mansion at 8:30. Haunted Mansion is from 8:10 to 9:10. So our Splash just expired at 8:20, so I got to get through the queue in the next 3 minutes.
Oh my goodness. You're running out of time.
This was amazing.
Yeah, not too shabby, right?
Not too shabby. 2 coasts, 1 show, hack snacks and fun facts. I don't think people understand the quality that they just got from this stream.
It's fun that we can do this and share 2 different sides of Disney, coast to coast. It just so happened, timing-wise,
no, it was great.
Kate was there. Hang on,
Amazing.
I'm going to have to light myself up.
Amazing stuff.
Hey, hello. Hello there. Hey now.
All right, but brother, take it away, and then...
Yeah, let me do a quick rollout, and then, Kate, you can have the rest. Thank you so much for watching the Rad Tea Party. Kate, amazing co-host. That was a lot of fun doing Disneyland versus Disney World. I feel like that would be a great book. And there's a lot of comparison and contrasting. But please follow Kate at Disney Cicerone on TikTok, as well as, is your blog Disney Cicerone as well, where your writing is?
Yep, DisneyCicerone.com. Yep.
DisneyCicerone.com. Anything else that you would like to plug before I talk about Walrus Cart? All right, walruscart.com, your spot for WDW theme park clothing. We also have a Discord. Just go to walruscarp.com/links, where you can join the conversation outside of the magic. We stream on Mondays and Wednesdays, live in the parks all day. Then we do our Rad Tea Party 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going back on the TikTok right now. We're going to ride Splash, then ride Haunted Mansion, then head over to Port Orleans French Quarter to try the savory beignets before they close at Scat Cats. Food stops at 10 o'clock. I got to get there at 9:45. I got to hustle and jam. I have about an hour and 15 minutes to ride 2 attractions, get over to Port Orleans, but super easy. I've done worse. Kate, you're an amazing, amazing hostess. Let me.
Thank you for having me. It was such a fun time.
Yes, of course, and you are an expert, which I absolutely love. Thank you for sharing all the fun.
You. Absolutely, anytime. This is great.
Sweet, thank you. All right, I got nothing. I'm going to Splash. Mark, wrap it up, brother. Plug whatever you got to plug, but I'm outie.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget, tune in same time next week for all the hacks, snacks, and fun facts from the one and only Rad Hatter, Kirk from Walrus Carp. And don't forget, get all of your amazing clothing over at walruscarp.com. That Ebco jacket, chef's kiss. Take care, everybody. Hope the rest of the night's filled with faith, trust, and pixie dust. We'll see you next week.